President Trump's national security advisor, H.R. McMaster, says there is a military option for North Korea after its latest missile launch, but he says it is not the administration's first choice.
We ought to make clear what's different about this approach is that we're out of time, right? As Ambassador Haley said before, we've been kicking the can down the road and we're out of road. And so for those who have said and have been commenting about the lack of a military option, there is a military option. Now, it's not what we would prefer to do.
North Korea's latest missile launch showing the nation has the capability to strike the U.S. territory of Guam. Analysts say the missile flew more than 2,300 miles, the farthest yet for North Korea. The UN Security Council holding an emergency meeting after approving more economic sanctions against North Korea just earlier this week. David Lee Miller live at the United Nations. All right, what action did the Security Council take?
After about 1 hour, Shannon, the UN Security Council released what is called a press statement. This is simply a non-binding document that expresses the consensus of the Security Council. A little background here. To date, so far, the UN Security Council has adopted 9 resolutions dealing with the North Korean nuclear program. The most recent 2 imposed very punishing sanctions on North Korea. As I said, this press statement today is not binding, but it does express the will of the Council. It called for all member states to abide by the most recent resolution, number 2375, and that was a resolution that significantly reduced the oil imports to North Korea. Among other things, it also completely cut all North Korean exports of textiles, and this is a key source of revenue for North Korea. The current rotating council president, who is the Ethiopian ambassador, read out the statement. Listen.
And the Security Council also emphasized the vital importance of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea immediately showing sincere commitment to denuclearization.
Now, next week is the annual meeting of the UN General Assembly, Shannon. At that time, we expect to hear a great deal more about North Korea. It is very possible there will be some very high-level meetings dealing with the subject. Shannon?
Absolutely. Okay, so we heard from the U.S. ambassador to the UN, Nikki Haley, today, and also the Russian ambassador speaking out about North Korea?
That's right. A short time ago, we heard from the UN Russian ambassador, and he talked about the most recent resolutions. He said that while they called for sanctions, they also called for efforts at diplomacy. And he singled out the United States in this regard, saying that the United States is in non-compliance. He accused the United States essentially of not trying to pursue a diplomatic resolution. He said, quote, "Mutual threats must be stopped." And he also, Shannon, expressed his frustration for the process here at the United Nations, a process that has so far failed to halt the North Korean nuclear weapons program. Listen to more of what he had to say.
That we're really in a vicious circle. We have a resolution, a provocation, a resolution, then another provocation. And we were contemplating, many people raised an issue that we have to think maybe out of the box.
And we also heard from the Japanese today. The Japanese UN ambassador said that the sanctions that have been adopted so far must now be implemented. Shannon?
All right, David Lee Miller on the scene there for us. Thank you so much.